Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Rhea Ripley's recent match ended in disappointment. This is because two stars didn't make their anticipated return. Tonight on WWE Raw, Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai were set to team up against Roxanne Perez and Julia. This match was the main event of the show and had fans excited since there were rumors that Kairi Sane and Asuka could make their return. Kairi has been out of action since December 2024, while Asuka has been sidelined since Backlash 2024. The murmurs of the damaged CTRL members returning to action on Raw gained traction before Raw, with many thinking Asuka would need some backup now that Dakota Kai is no longer with the company. Io and Rhea put on a hard-fought battle against Roxanne Perez and Julia tonight. They were able to pick up the win in the end. However, neither Kairi Sane nor Asuka made their presence felt tonight, leaving fans disappointed. Io Shirai and Rhea have been feuding with Julia and Perez ever since the Raw following WrestleMania 41 when the heels ambushed the former and Stephanie Vacker during their match. Ripley came out to make the save. When Rhea faced Roxanne the following week, Julia got involved, and this time the Women's World Champion came out to make the save. It seems Ripley will now look to go after Stephanie and her women's title. The echoes of WrestleMania 41 were still vibrating through the WWE universe when the shocking news dropped. Rhea Ripley's highly anticipated match did not go as planned, and to make matters worse, two major WWE superstars who were heavily rumored to make their long-awaited returns were nowhere to be seen. The result? An outpouring of confusion, frustration, and concern rippling through fans, talent, and even WWE management. Here Ripley walked into WrestleMania 41 with an aura of invincibility, her reign as Women's World Champion unbroken for nearly a year. Her challenger, a formidable surprise entrant, had the crowd split, but all eyes were on the Eradicator. This was more than just another title defense. It was set to be her coronation as the greatest women's champion in modern WWE history. But what unfolded stunned everyone. Ripley's match, hyped as the possible show-stealer of the night, fell short of expectations, not due to lack of effort, but because of a chaotic series of backstage changes, abrupt creative rewrites, and a last-minute adjustment to the match's finish that left both the performers and the fans dazed. A controversial non-finish marred the ending, as the referee called the match due to a ringside medical incident that many insiders are now claiming was not part of the script. The confusion began just 24 hours before the event, when rumors surfaced that two former champions, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, were in talks to appear, with some claiming both were scheduled to make a shocking return during or after Ripley's match to begin a heated program heading into SummerSlam. Multiple internal sources confirmed that rehearsals were in place and security had been alerted about a potential surprise. But neither Becky Lynch nor Charlotte Flair ever walked through the curtain. In fact, according to talent present at the stadium, their names were abruptly removed from the internal production notes hours before the event went live. This fueled rampant speculation across social media, with fans theorizing everything from injuries to walkouts to sudden creative disagreements. Backstage sources now reveal that the disappointment surrounding Ripley's match may have been directly tied to the absence of those two names. There was a very specific ending planned, a WWE producer reportedly said off-record. Rhea was supposed to retain, only to be ambushed post-match by two returning legends. The idea was to tease a triple threat or even a four-horsewoman-type reunion feud. But when they didn't show up, we had to rewrite everything with barely any time left. It was chaos. The chaos was evident in the ring. Ripley, who usually delivers clinic-level matches, seemed off-rhythm with her opponent. The finish, a count-out after both competitors crashed into the timekeeper's area, left fans booing not at the heel, but at the lack of a decisive outcome. Some even chanted refund, as the arena darkened post-match without any further drama. Rhea was visibly distraught after the bell. WWE's cameras briefly caught her shaking her head, mouthing something to a ringside crew member, before storming up the ramp without holding her championship high. A rare sight for someone usually so commanding in her post-match presence. Moments later, she was seen backstage in a heated conversation with Triple H and lead producer Tyson Kidd. Fans were even more perplexed when WWE social media accounts posted cryptic messages instead of the usual match highlights. The caption for Ripley's match result read only, "Unexpected turns. Answers coming soon." No official word has been issued from either Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair's camps, further fueling speculation. One theory gaining traction is that negotiations between WWE and the two returning stars collapsed at the 11th hour due to creative differences. According to a source close to the situation, Charlotte wanted to return in a dominant role and didn't agree with a plan that had her losing at SummerSlam. Becky, meanwhile, had concerns about the timing of her return being overshadowed by Charlotte's. Neither were willing to compromise on the vision. This setback comes at a time when WWE is trying to rebuild its women's division with long-term storytelling. Losing two top-tier talents on the same night, and without warning, creates a massive hole in future programming plans. Ripley's frustration is understandable. Her dominance has elevated the title and carried Raw's women's division on her shoulders, but backstage tensions and unreliable creative have now derailed what could have been her greatest WrestleMania moment. Some insiders even claim that Rhea requested a private meeting with Triple H the next morning to discuss the trajectory of her future storylines, a sign that she may be losing patience with the current direction. It remains unclear what WWE's next step will be. The Raw after WrestleMania provided no answers. Ripley appeared for a brief promo but made no mention of the controversial finish or the missing names. She simply raised the title, stared coldly into the camera, and said, "If you're going to come for the Queen, don't miss," before walking off. The WWE universe is now left with more questions than answers. Will Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair ever return? Was their absence truly about creative issues? Or is there a larger power struggle unfolding behind the scenes? And how will Ripley rebound from a night that should have cemented her legacy, but instead left a bitter taste? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.